Karazhan looked completely different. It was modeled after a Chinese-style castle instead of the more medieval European look it has today. The model in the alpha wasn't even close to finish. Only the outside had color to it, and it was on an elevated platform so you couldn't even get to it. Also, Deadwind Pass was a lot more rockier with tons of spikes. Just like in vanilla, there were a few places that could be reached in the world that players weren't really supposed to go to. One of those was Programmer's Island. In Programmer's Island, there isn't much. Just a random temple, a tower, some boxes, a giant hole with water sound effects if you get close enough, and some words spelled on the floor. The ones below the giant hole simply spell out fast. The ones to the right spell the sentence, "Chow is my love monkey." We also got another place simply called On Map Dungeon, which is just what something is called when it has no name. This place, far off the coast of Kalimdor, has many human houses of all shapes and sizes that come in-game. Off to the side, there are more houses, and underwater, more houses still. Not sure why there are so many houses underwater. Of course, that wasn't even the only place with underwater houses. In a completely different part of Kalimdor off the coast is this other row of houses. The only real difference is a larger than normal amount of them, and the fact that these ones are all the same. I've heard rumors that this was supposed to be a test neighborhood for player housing, but there's no real credit to any of these rumors. Sounds plausible though. There were two islands that didn't make it to live in the alpha. The first one being the island of Dr. Lapis. The entire island looks like a troll dungeon. Has a random tower that's fully detailed inside, and a random ghost town with all the buildings looking like the houses in the Undead Starter Zone, full of skeletons. I assume this was supposed to be a creepy place. Gilligans Island, same thing. Looks like troll dungeons, has a dead turtle on the beach, same model as the turtle submarines used in Warcraft 2. Even big enough to go inside. Also crashed ships from Warcraft 2, and the decomposing body of a sea monster. Might be a reference to something, not sure. If you do, let me know what it is. I know the island itself is supposed to be a reference to the Gilligans Island TV show. See this giant desert? That's Oldham. As you can see, there's nothing there. But there wasn't anything there on live either, just a gate blocking it off. Winter Spring was all green. Easy enough to understand. Turning it white later on seems like an easy enough thing to do, and green is a lot easier to work with since it stands out more. But, funny enough, all the trees and rocks in the zone do have white snow on them. The famous Help Easter egg in the Stone Talon Mountains was in the game since Alpha, but is no longer in the game today. The entrance to the Caverns of Time looked very different. It looks more like the entrance to some kind of hidden fortress than the opening to some kind of time-lost cave. Ironforge in Alpha was way larger than it was in Vanilla, and even had a second level. It's also a lot bigger than it is today. Also, the center of Ironforge is just a giant metal machine. Undercity is also a lot different. The quarter where the auctioneers are located is filled with slime, with bridges leading to the outer sections where the trainers and vendors are located. In the outer quarter, there is easier access to the second level of Undercity, as well as what looks like vendor stalls, which meant Blizzard probably had some plans to actually use the second level of Undercity. It's still there today, just kinda hidden and hard to get to. Also, the elevators are in different locations. Stratholme was going to be an outside zone. Blizzard turned it into a dungeon later. Also, the Naxxramas entrance was going to be inside Stratholme. Maybe. Just like how Molten Core was inside Blackrock Depths, and Blackwing Lair was near Upper Blackrock Spire. Blizzard was trying to make it a thing where raids were inside dungeons. Luckily, they stopped, because that shit's annoying. There was a random Statue of Liberty off the coast of Stranglethorn Vale. Behind the Gilnean wall, there was, unsurprisingly, nothing. The content behind the wall wasn't really added until Cataclysm anyway.